Food is more than sustenance, it's culture, it's tradition, it's deeply personal. Why do some foods embraced globally never make it to the American plate? Snake meat is a prime example. A staple in some cultures, it remains a curiosity in the US. This aversion isn't just about taste, it's a mix of cultural norms, history, and primal fear. The thought of eating snake might make some squirm, yet in parts of Asia, snake is a delicacy. It's woven into their culinary traditions. In the US, snakes are met with apprehension. This contrast shows cultural influence on food choices. What's delicious in one place might be unthinkable in another. This essay explores America's aversion to snake meat. We'll look at cultural baggage, health concerns, and ecological importance, and uncover where snake meat is on the menu in America. Join me as we explore why millions of snakes are left uneaten in the USA. To understand why Americans generally avoid eating snakes, we need to look beyond the plate and into the heart of our cultural perceptions. Snakes hold a unique place in the American psyche, often depicted as creatures of fear and loathing. From biblical narratives to Hollywood horror films, snakes have been cast as villains, their image intertwined with danger and deceit. This negative portrayal has seeped into our collective consciousness, shaping our attitudes towards these reptiles. We've inherited a cultural narrative that paints snakes as something to be feared, avoided, or even eradicated. This deep-seated aversion makes it challenging to view them as a potential food source. The negative perception of snakes in American culture is further reinforced by the widespread fear of snakes, known as Ophidiophobia. This primal fear, often ingrained in childhood, creates a powerful psychological barrier to seeing snakes as anything other than a threat. The mere sight of a snake can trigger feelings of anxiety and disgust, making the idea of consuming them utterly repulsive. This cultural and psychological conditioning has a profound impact on our culinary choices. It's no wonder that snake meat, already an unconventional food source, faces an uphill battle for acceptance in a society where snakes are demonized rather than celebrated. The fear of snakes, known as Ophidiophobia, is one of the most common phobias worldwide. It's a primal fear, deeply rooted in our evolutionary history. Our ancestors learned to associate snakes with danger. This instinctive fear continues to influence us today. Cultural narratives amplify this fear. Movies and books often depict snakes as sinister. This reinforces their place as something to be feared. Social conditioning further ingrains this aversion. Children mimic adults' fearful reactions. This makes it hard to view snakes objectively. Fear creates a barrier to accepting snake meat. Education and understanding are key to change. While snakes often evoke fear and disgust, it's crucial to recognize their vital role in maintaining a healthy ecosystem. Snakes are nature's pest control, playing a crucial role in regulating rodent populations. Their diet consists primarily of rodents, which can carry diseases and damage crops. By keeping these populations in check, snakes provide an invaluable service to both human and environmental health. Snakes are also an integral part of the food chain. They serve as prey for larger predators such as birds of prey, foxes, and coyotes. Their presence in the ecosystem helps to maintain balance and biodiversity. Removing snakes from the equation can have cascading effects on the entire food web. Despite their ecological importance, snakes often face persecution due to human fear and misunderstanding. Habitat destruction, intentional killing, and the pet trade all threaten snake populations worldwide. It's essential to shift our perspective and recognize snakes as valuable contributors to a healthy planet, deserving of our respect and protection. Understanding the ecological role of snakes can help us move beyond the fear and appreciate their importance in the grand scheme of nature. Perhaps with increased awareness, we can learn to coexist with these often misunderstood creatures and recognize their value beyond the plate. Section 5. On the plate: snake meat and health considerations. While snake meat might not be a staple in American cuisine, it's worth addressing the health aspects of consuming these reptiles. Snake meat, particularly from certain species like python, is surprisingly lean and high in protein. It's also a good source of nutrients like potassium and magnesium. However, consuming snake meat does come with potential health risks. Snakes, like many wild animals, can carry parasites and bacteria that can be harmful to humans. Proper cooking is essential to eliminate these risks, but caution is always advised when consuming any wild game. Another concern is the potential for bioaccumulation of toxins in snake meat. Snakes are carnivores, and as they consume prey, they can accumulate toxins present in their environment. This is particularly concerning with snakes that consume rodents, as rodents can accumulate pesticides and other chemicals. While the nutritional profile of snake meat might seem appealing, the potential health risks associated with consuming wild-caught snakes cannot be ignored. These risks, coupled with cultural aversions, contribute to the limited consumption of snake meat in the United States. Section 6. A Bite of the Southwest, Exceptions to the Rule. While snake meat remains a culinary outlier in most of the United States, there are pockets of American culture where it has found a niche following. In certain parts of the Southwest, particularly in Texas and Arizona, rattlesnake enjoys a degree of culinary acceptance. Rattlesnake roundups, while controversial for their impact on snake populations, often feature rattlesnake meat as a novelty food. It's typically served fried, grilled, or even incorporated into stews and chili. For those adventurous enough to try it, rattlesnake meat is often described as having a gamey flavor, similar to chicken or alligator. The consumption of rattlesnake in the Southwest is more than just a culinary quirk. It's rooted in a history of resourcefulness and a connection to the land. In the past, rattlesnake meat provided sustenance during lean times, and its consumption was a matter of survival rather than choice. Today, it persists as a cultural tradition, a way to connect with the history and flavors of the region. While rattlesnake consumption remains a niche practice, it highlights the diversity of American culinary traditions and the enduring power of cultural influences on our food choices. Section 7. Survival Mode, when snake becomes sustenance. In survival situations where food is scarce and options are limited, snakes can become a vital source of sustenance. Snakes are found in diverse environments, from deserts to forests, and their meat can provide essential calories and protein when other food sources are unavailable. However, consuming snakes in survival situations requires knowledge and caution. Venomous snakes pose an obvious threat, and their venom glands must be carefully removed before consumption. It's crucial to properly identify snakes and learn safe handling and preparation techniques to avoid potential harm. Even non-venomous snakes can harbor parasites, so thorough cooking is essential to minimize the risk of illness. Ideally, snakes should be cooked over high heat until the meat is white and flaky. While consuming snakes in survival situations is not for the faint of heart, it underscores the adaptability of humans and our ability to utilize available resources in times of need. Section 8. Beyond the bite nutritional value of snake meat. While cultural perceptions and health concerns often overshadow the nutritional aspects of snake meat, it's worth noting that snake meat does offer some nutritional benefits. Snake meat, particularly from larger species like python, is surprisingly lean and packed with protein. A 100-gram serving of cooked snake meat provides approximately 23 grams of protein, making it comparable to other lean protein sources like chicken breast or fish. It's also relatively low in fat, with only about 3 grams of fat per 100-gram serving. Snake meat is also a good source of essential minerals like potassium and magnesium. Potassium plays a vital role in maintaining fluid balance, nerve function, and muscle contractions, while magnesium is involved in over 300 biochemical reactions in the body, including muscle and nerve function, blood sugar control, and blood pressure regulation. While the nutritional profile of snake meat might seem intriguing, it's essential to remember that these benefits are often outweighed by the potential health risks associated with consuming wild-caught snakes, such as parasites and bioaccumulation of toxins. Section 9. Respect the reptile. A call for understanding and conservation. As we've explored the multifaceted reasons behind America's aversion to eating snakes, it's clear that cultural perceptions, health concerns, and ecological considerations all play a role. While snake meat might never become a mainstream culinary trend in the United States, it's crucial to approach these often misunderstood creatures with respect and appreciation for their ecological importance. Snakes are integral to maintaining balanced ecosystems, controlling rodent populations, and serving as both predator and prey in the delicate web of life. Rather than viewing them with fear and disgust, let's strive to understand their role in the natural world and advocate for their conservation. By promoting education, dispelling myths, and fostering a greater appreciation for snakes, we can help to ensure their survival for generations to come. Perhaps one day we can move beyond the fear and recognize snakes not just for their ecological value, but also for their unique place in the tapestry of life on Earth.